Yeah, I hope we
Right.
can collaboration in the future because I saw some
Yeah.
of the potential projects. It should be a collaboration between like Indonesia with Timor Leste or Indonesia with other countries. So yeah, it's many potential opportunity in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And I usually go to Bali back and forth. So yeah, if I stop there, maybe I can contact you for us to catch up. That would be great.
Yeah. Let me know. Let me know. I live
Sure.
in Bali since 2 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes back and forth, Bali, Jakarta also, but still Bali for the place that I live.
Good afternoon, Mali. Welcome to our viewpoint discussion this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us from Bangkok, all the way in Bangkok. I think at some point our paths crossed in the past because I was with UNESCO Bangkok with App 8 unit with Molly and Lei Cheng Tan back in 2008. I think we've met at some point, and when the director was still Sheldon, and
Right.
I
It's
think
been a long time. Yeah, I think I remembered you.
yeah, I was the quiet guy,
Yeah.
the fresh grad guy from Jakarta, trying to learn more about what UNESCO is doing. Anyway, so this afternoon we have two other beautiful, smart, and dynamic and highly motivated young women from Indonesia, Ranita Nurlita, but you can address her by Lita. And then we have
Okay.
also Dircia Bello from Dili, Timor Leste.
Okay.
The two of you, Lita and Dircia, please meet Malika Monrad from
Hi.
UNESCO office in Bangkok. So we had like preliminary discussion, the three of us before you joined, that what you're doing in the cultural office is very unique because it never crossed my thought that people who are working in the cultural unit can think about a project that um, taps the importance of safeguarding the cultural heritage sites by and like what your colleague mentioned or explained in the email earlier that trying to reduce the plastic waste around the cultural heritage site, which will be a very good future project that the three of you can think of in the future. So again, Mali, I would like to highlight as well that Lita and Dersia are actually the alumni of the U.S. Department of State YCD program, the Southeast
Yeah.
Asia Youth Leadership Initiative program, and things like that. And the two of them are working on climate change issues and environmental issues and stuff like that. So we are hoping out of this program, the three of you can create these joint projects, Thailand, Indonesia, and Timor Leste, and us in Seasia, we can help you bridge how we can make this happen
Mm-hmm.
and see how it goes from here. And today we'll have 15 minutes for each of you to share your views, your experiences, your opinions about the importance of safeguarding the environment, the planet from plastic. And as we know that this is a very alarming concern in Southeast Asia, in particular, that European has been importing illegally the plastic waste to some of the Southeast Asian countries since the Chinese government banned such activities coming into their country. So it's quite crucial issue to talk about this. And in line of the Earth Day that we are celebrating this week. So without further ado, I would like to invite Dircia from Timor Leste, as she's going to be with us for only an hour because she has another appointment in the next 1 hour. So I'd like to give the opportunity to Dircia to share her views on this particular issue. Dircia, the time is yours.
Sure. I have a presentation here. Can I use that?
Yes, please, Doris. Yeah, feel free. Can you share your screen?
Sure. Sorry, I just want to check. Are we on live now, or it's just preps before the actual?
Yes, I can see your beautiful presentation.
Thank you. So I have 15 minutes, right, to do a bit of presentation about the reducing plastic waste. So, well, thank you very much, Reza, for the opportunity for connecting us and having this discussion in your platform. I'm a founder of Laudato Si movement Timor Leste. It's a Catholic youth organization dedicated to implementing the message of Laudato Si from Pope Francis, which emphasizes the value of caring for our common home and earth. So this is what I've been doing with the young people in my country voluntarily. I love doing volunteer works, and I've been doing this for almost more than 5 years now. So I guess I don't need to explain about to share my views about the threat of plastic waste towards our environment and the health, because we know that nowadays we all experience how plastic waste affects us, especially in our environment and also our health. So I'm just gonna skip this one so that I can have more time in explaining what I've been doing in reducing plastic waste as an individual and also with my organization. So I believe that it's really important to manage our plastic waste. At first, apart from the threats that we know, I think it's really important to know that the plastic waste are not only putting our health or environment at risk after it becomes waste, but it actually begins from the production stage. In the production of plastics, resources and energy are used, and pollution is created throughout the extraction, the manufacturing, distribution, maintenance, or even the disposal of products. So I guess it's really important for us to be aware of this process. So as once we recognize the importance of managing plastic waste, I believe that more people will care and take action. So the term that I usually use in my advocacy or in my campaigning is the term of cradle to cradle, and I'm sure that some of you already aware or been informed about what cradle to cradle means. So there is a book. Called Cradle to Cradle: Remaking the Way We Make Things, written by the designer William and chemist Michael. I really love this book. It's really interesting to show, to provoke our mind to think how we create products in the first place, and why do we need to rethink the way we make things. So Cradle to Cradle, for those who are not familiar with that, it refers to a holistic approach to product design and manufacturing that considers the entire life cycle of the product. So it starts from the beginning, the creation of the products, the cradle, to its end of life stage, where that product itself can be recycled or biodegraded or returned to the environment as a nutrient, which means the cradle again. So there is no waste in that product. Or in short, we can say that cradle to cradle means designing products to be used or recycled after they are used. This to help minimize waste and keeps resource in use as long as possible. So for those who are interested in this approach, I would recommend you to get this book. So as we are we are talking about the plastic waste. We know that we celebrate the Earth Day, which is on 22nd. It was a really important day for me as well. And it was a busy day for me. I really enjoy my celebration on the actual date on 22nd, especially spending time with young people in my country, sharing and learning together. So as you all may have seen across your social media platform, that in this year, the Earth Day 2024, the theme of the Earth Day is planet versus plastic. So the goal is to reduce. The goal of the campaign, the advocacy, is the 60% reduction in the production of all plastics by 2040. I know that this sounds ambitious. These are ambitious, but given the fact that how waste impacts our society today, especially our planet, I think it's really important to take an ambitious step. So I guess to achieve this ambitious goal, we must focus on several keys. We know that not all plastics can be substituted. So we have to focus which plastics, which type of plastic we need to focus. So in phase by phase. So the keys would be the raising awareness about health risks. As I mentioned earlier, that the more people aware of how plastic possess risk to our health, I'm sure that they will take an action about that. And second is the advocating for the rapid elimination of all single-use plastics. It's not surprised that single-use plastics is now invaded the planet today. So this one is really important. And of course, the fast fashion, which we know that most fashion are not sustainable. And last one is investing in innovative technologies and alternative materials. And this is what many countries have been working on, how to find a substitute for the plastic that we've been using for quite some time. So so call for actions. We know that we already know the problems and the cause, and what can we do to reduce the plastic in our planet. We know that to achieve the reduction of plastic waste, it's essential for not only for us as an individuals or as an activist, but for the, of course, for the government and industry, consumers, even us. We have a power to make a choice in our daily life regarding purchasing habits or lifestyle choices. And for the NGOs or academia and research institution, even the media too, we know that media is quite powerful nowadays. People use influencers, media outlets, or platforms to have that have a power to raise awareness and mobilize public actions against plastic pollution. And of course, the international organizations. So regarding the plastic waste, it's not only the actions towards the plastic waste is not only in grassroots level or in national level, but even in a high level as well, especially in the global. Talks have begun at the UN that could finally end the age of the single-use plastic worldwide. In 2022, more than 100 countries actually agreed to end the plastic pollution with the negotiation on legally binding agreement by 2024. So we hope that by the end of this year, we will have a legally binding agreement on addressing the plastic pollution. So as an international organization, they, especially the UN, they play a vital role in addressing plastic pollution on global scale, and facilitate international cooperation, set targets and guidelines, and provide technical assistance for countries. For example, regarding recycling, even though we know that recycling has been in place for quite an ages, but in Timor Leste, this is so new. This is so new to us. So how to So if we want to phase out, or if we want to reduce the single-use plastic or to promote recycling, the small countries like us, we need assistance, and we, especially in technical assistance, to support us in our transition. So since I'm a youth myself, so for youths out there, if you're wondering, or you may already start doing something in addressing plastic pollutions, here are some things that I would like to share with you. So for the changes, is there are a lot of things that for us as a young people can do as an individual or collective, and it starts with you. I know that, yeah, it's hard to break free from plastic in our life. As individuals, we can take some steps, but it's also important to be informed and to be educated, so that we can also advocate for policies and laws that could reduce the waste. It's important to be updated about what's going on in global level. So the things that we can adopt from other countries, we can advocate for change, not only in the individual, in our personal life, household, or even in our community, but in the system itself, especially in the law, the policy, or the guidelines that aims to reduce the plastic pollution. So do your part as an individual. Do your part. It starts where you are and what you have. And for the collective actions, find a community or a platform. I know that there are quite a lot of platforms out there, even in your respective countries, or in globally. There are quite a lot of platforms out there. So it's important to use the social media, to use the platform that you have to connect those who have the same passion or who are in the same page. And I think I don't have to go through this one. I guess I just want to remind, it's really important for us as an individual to do what we can. So this is the thing that I usually consider in my daily life. The top one is the most preferred, and then the bottom one is less preferred. So it starts with the prevention first. Say no first to the plastic, refuse, and then you cannot do that, then you reduce it. If you cannot reduce, then you recycle or you repurpose it, and recovery, and after that you dispose at the landfill. So if you're doing that, that means less waste goes to the landfill. So this is something that you can start with yourself or with your household. And the thing that I've been doing with my youth groups since 2019, after I returned from the YSILI program. I'm also one of the YSILI alumni, and I got the opportunity to access to the funding. So I used that funding to implement a project called How to Use Arts to Communicate Environmental Behavior. So the main objective of this project is to involve more young people and students to understand the impact of waste to the environment, especially to the ocean, and of course mobilize communities to think constructively of how to reduce littering action in our society. In Timor Leste, littering is still a big thing, and how do we influence people? How do we bring community to discuss around this issue, and of course together relevant agency and community, students, and even the government to take part of the awareness campaign. So we managed to collaborate with more than 200 young people. It was my first project, and I'm so proud of that project because it's actually changed my life. And I found that that's actually my passion, working with young people to protect our environment. So it actually started from there. And the thing, the arts that we use is performing theater and visual arts. If you want to know more about how we did that and the process and everything, we also have the specific website for that project, and you can check it for yourselves. And also, for the Earth Day 2024, my organization, we also gather youth more than 50. We prioritize those who haven't been part of any environmental groups before, like they are really new to the environment, especially to the plastic, because most of our initiatives that we have done before, we mainly focus on the existing youth groups, but this time we prioritize those who are so new to this topic. And it turned out that many people, are more than 400, are interested to join our program. Is that we didn't have enough capacity to accommodate them all. So as I mentioned before, that recycling is still a new thing in Timor Leste. So recently, 3-4 years ago, we just had a one and only recycling plant here in Timor Leste, and most people haven't aware of that recycling center. That's why we took the initiative to take the young people to visit the recycling center and learn from there. And after the visit, we also went for the networking lunch, where we also introduced them to the existing groups that have been advocating for the change, especially to the environment, to know that they have the community supporting them. We have them back. We have their back. So we also, it's not only us, but we also try to connect the existing youth groups to the newbies. and then we ended with the discussion and presentation and quiz. And I really I'm so grateful that I have a great community where we support each other to do something that we love and passionate about. So I guess that's 2 examples that I could share with you all regarding reducing plastic waste in our planet. As I always believe that everyone has power to make a difference, whether as a one person or as a community. So for those who want to be part of this movement or want to be part of the changes, then try to find a community yourself. Try to find a platform where you can connect with people who are on the same page, the same passion, and then grow together. As Robert Swan once said, that this is one of the common quotes that we mostly find on the internet. That Robert Swan, I really love this guy. And he once said that the greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. So I guess if you want to change, see the change in the world and be that change. I think that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Lucia. That's very inspiring. I mean, like especially the 2 things that I noticed is the first one is your involvement with the young people in the arts industry. You know, that's kind of that's very, very creative. You know, to involve the young people in safeguarding the environment through arts, through performing arts and stuff like that. And the second one is what you did during the Earth Day on Monday. I know that you were very busy, so that's why I think Thursday is the best day to have everyone together, so that they are less distracted from the Earth Day events and programs and stuff like that. So while we are looking at the multiple platforms that are live right now, and then waiting for viewers to ask their questions, I would like to invite Malika Monrad from UNESCO office in Bangkok to share her project. I think I was especially intrigued by the marine plastic project. So I think it will be quite interesting, because Indonesia and Timor Leste, they have a lot of marine biodiversity, marine national parks, and a lot of issues in our ocean and the seashores. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Mali to share her project. The time is yours, Mali.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for such a great initiative that you have done in Timor Leste. I'm personally quite happy to hear such a campaign that was done by youth and with such passion. So yesterday, it's quite relevant because yesterday we just launched the project. And in one of my short introductions, I actually said, I actually quote one of my ocean expert colleagues that said, if you look at the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of Thailand, SDG 14, like below water actually looks behind, and they trying to achieve this target for 2030. And Southeast Asia is facing quite a critical challenge with ocean debris and waste that ended up on the coastal areas and also ended up somewhere in the ocean, which threatens the marine ecosystems, coastal communities. And I wanted to say this, but not to discourage you. But he actually went on and say, even if humans start generating plastic today, 20 more years would still be a period to clean up what have already been done in the ocean. So this is why I'm quite glad to hear that there are initiatives here and there to try to clean the oceans. Do whatever you can wherever you are in your capacity. For us, the projects that we launched yesterday, actually a regional project, and it is multidisciplinary. So the project involved science sector, education sector, and culture sector. And we implemented through regional office here in Bangkok. And the countries that involved in our projects are Indonesia and Vietnam. And today it's good to hear Timor Leste. Let me present to you what the project is all about, and then see if there are any commonalities or any points that we can corroborate somehow. It's good to hear that you are already collective groups of youth who have potentials to be a change agent in the future, near future. And you also have already involved cultural and creative professionals, artists, which is what we're doing. So let me share the a short presentation so that you would understand better what we're doing. So I just go share screen. So the project ultimate goals is to, so maybe started off with the title of the projects. It's called Sustaining Our Oceans, Building Healthy Relationship with the Oceans in Southeast Asia through Education for Sustainable Development. As you know, Reza, we have ESD unit within UNESCO Bangkok, and it was a cooperation between UNESCO Bangkok, UNESCO Regional Office in Bangkok, the support from Uniqlo.
The clothing company from
Yes.
Japan. Wow.
They raised the funds for us last year. There was a campaign in Uniqlo outlets, like stores, to it's with Doraemon, the character, and they sell the t-shirts
Yeah.
and products to raise funds to support this project.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's part of, I'm sure you have heard of the UN Ocean Decades.
Yes.
So yesterday, our site event, our launch event is part of the bigger UN Decades conference. And within UNESCO, we have IOC, which is the entity or the office that are oceans, in charge of the oceans, like full of ocean scientists. So here are the ultimate goals. So with three outcomes, as you may. The first outcomes that we would do, we would expect is all the stakeholders of the coastal and marines UNESCO designated sites. You know that UNESCO, we have a lot of networks, and through science unit, they have what it's called Man and Biosphere Reserved network. World Heritage Sites through Culture Unit, Geoparks also from through Science Unit, Learning Cities through Education Unit, Creative Cities to Culture Unit. So we would like to work with all those designated sites, managers and schools around it, to produce educational tools as part of alternative learning kits in the site. To understand, so we wanted to work with primary and secondary school, primary and secondary age school children's. And come up with educational programs, creative programs. So the first one would be to understand what has been done, what are the existing educational tools, contexts, curriculums that they have. And then outcome 2 would be the one that I'm in charge directly from Culture Unit. So we would actually reach out to tech people. We actually go beyond artists now. We have worked with performing artists, virtual artists, films, and all of those creative professionals before, but now we wanted them to actually work with tech. So I'll skip to these components and how we are going to develop the educational kits or packages, as you may. We would actually work with a lab, incubators, and I think they have one in Jakarta. It's called Fab Lab.
Mm-hmm.
They are actually global network of Fab Lab, Fab Cafe, and very forward-thinking kind of tech. So I had an ongoing projects with them using VR, AR, and XR technology to raise awareness about the endangered animals in our heritage sites. And we do not stop there. We actually come up with innovative business models. After you have all these techs coming, how would you retain it? So we actually looking at how we could use tech to raise funds or to make in my world we call monetize your products, your creative products in the immersive verse.
Yeah.
So it's not just to raise awareness. We encourage actions and especially to monetize your products. But in this case, we would like to make use of those technologies and in an incubation platform. So we would have so the process would be we would have ideathon, hackathons, incubation. So incubations and then prototype and testing and validation. So at the very end, you really have the real products that have functioning business model. So for our previous projects, we actually raised funds through this financial mechanisms using tech. So the money going through, it's almost like you're using all this modeler to raise funds for foundation that worked towards safeguard those endangered animals. So this is how, so right now it's just the launch of it. And so we in the process of doing situational analysis. And then when we have that comprehensive understanding of what are existing, what are the current situation in each site, then we would be able to have a proper design for these educational packages. Then we would train the sites manager or site authorities for them to use, and especially we would work with children. So we have a few other partners that have worked a lot with coming up with nature-based solutions for whatever there are. So in the site that we're going to pilot in Thailand. It's called Ranong Biosphere Reserve, and they are full of like mangroves ecosystem that are quite deteriorated now. So that would be more or less like mangroves, problems that related to mangroves, plastics as part of it. So ultimately, we would like to have projects that build change agent or youth with sustainable mindsets, to link them to understand better what's the life in the oceans live as an ecosystem and how humans are part of it. Yeah. So that's pretty much component 2. And then once we have this package done, then we would showcase in one of those Uniqlo outlets, and then might replicate in other sites or schools along the coastal areas in Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam. And in UNESCO, we also have ASP.NET schools, so we would disseminate these packages through the ASP.NET schools as well.
So for this project, do you have any future plan to expand this to Timor Leste or other countries in Southeast Asia, or countries that are under the supervision of UNESCO Bangkok?
So right now, in the framework of these projects or the concepts that we have, it's a 2-year project, which is pushed, so to say. And we would involve three countries at the very first phase.
Yeah.
And see if what results that we could deliver.
Yeah.
And then we would have another discussions how we would replicate the projects to or reach out to other countries that have coastal areas.
Yeah.
So yesterday, the donor herself, Uniqlo representative, also came to the launch and explained. So in Uniqlo, they have a unit called sustainability unit. trying to tackle or do something good in place of, how harmful the fashion industries make to the environment. And they actually shared quite a lot of campaigns in Japan that they have done with school children. So yesterday we had a lot of best practices and examples from other countries and from inside Thailand as well. So
Mhm.
from my unit, we also worked in the indigenous community, how we develop a few school curriculum, having youth and young scientists working together to identify plants in the community, and then coming up with jobs for them
Yeah.
to retain them, or at least to motivate them to come back to the community. Yeah.
So, like, what is really interesting about your partnership in this project is that you work together with Uniqlo, one of the largest clothing companies in the world, and going back to what Dircia presented earlier about the fast fashion, I think these two projects can somehow meet in the intersection, to kind of collaborate in the near future. But again, I think I believe not only in Timor Leste that has problems with fast fashion, but like pretty much now everywhere in the world has that kind of problems of fast fashion. So
Not only that,
yeah,
actually personally, so I have my own initiative for 9 years now. I have had a flower shop that trying to address the problem from flower industry. The carbon footprints
yeah,
that what entails when you have to import a lot of flowers. And especially in the shop, you use a whole lot of oasis, which is
yeah,
actually foam, and it's ended up in the ocean as microplastic. And 95% or even more, 99% of flower shop using that without knowing. So in the whole process, not only that we try to reduce all this carbon footprints, plastics in the shop, and this oasis, but we also have to work on advocating and educating our customers too. And I think this is something that when you have youth initiative like this, it's
Mm.
I mean fashion industry are quite well known of how harmful they are to the environment from the whole process.
yeah,
But for flower industry, it's quite limited. If you really look at each industries, plastic is the core. And
exactly. Yeah.
sometimes they just don't know. Flower shop themselves, they don't know.
Mhm.
So I'm quite glad, and I'm sure flower shops in Indonesia and Timor, they still are not aware of the problems. So my flower shop is part of what it's called Sustainable Forestry Network, a global network with only like 20 ambassadors there.
Wow.
Means that it's still very tiny compared to fashion industries and
Of
about
course.
its
Yeah.
strength that they have done in the industry. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was quite intriguing and mind-blowing at the same time. The other day I saw this video online that somebody it was just a young person trying to um reuse the plastic bottles that he found at home, and then he shredded that into smaller pieces of microplastics, and then to my surprise, he created some kind of threads out of that microplastics that he processed, and then he made a t-shirt out of that plastics, and I was quite surprised. But I mean, like that was for me to see that for the first time. But actually, back in 2018, I received a t-shirt made by plastic by one of the largest companies in the world. And I was just, wondering like how these people or how this company figured out the way they recycle and reuse these plastic bottles, and then they made t-shirts out of that, which is quite innovative in that sense. So
So yeah, thank you. Our projects tackle it at and we work through education always. For us and for me personally, I always believe that if we want to work on plastic waste or any environmental related problems, you really need to work with younger generations to have a sustainable mindset. And it's not enough to only tell them to say no to plastic or to teach them to separate trashes or not to throw anything in the ocean or collect the garbage from the ocean. I think it's really needed for us to demonstrate the connections, to show them how all lives connect, how their life relates to all living organisms in the sea, in the oceans, or all animals on the trees, and how their life relate to plants. Only by doing that, they would start to learn, to understand and to love and to care for all the living beings, and ultimately live in harmony with themselves and with others and with all these animals and plants and Mother Earth.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
To
Yeah.
do education.
That's true. I always believe, I'm a firm believer that education is one of the most important tools to sort of change the mindset of not only us, but also the future generations, our children and our grandchildren and great grandchildren and stuff, like that can only be done with the collaboration of, people like us, the like-minded people, young people, with the same aspiration, with the same vision about how we would love to have our Earth to be in the future. So
By
I
these
think,
things,
yeah,
biology is a must.
it is. Yeah, it is. It is. All right. So Lita, I'd like to let you know that apparently both Dersia and Mali will have to leave early by 5 o'clock. So in few more minutes. So we'll have like very brief question and answer from the viewers, and then we'll have like a group photo, and then you will have like a special session for yourself for the next half an hour. But again, for Lita, Dersia, and Mali, this program is brought to you by Seasia Academy. It's a part of Seasia and a group of Good News from Indonesia. And we have now across the platform around like Seasia alone, we have an impression monthly, 40 million people in Southeast Asia and beyond. So through this platform that we have, we would like to sort of bridge the people, the communities in Southeast Asia to share mutual understandings, success stories, and to build bridges and to create some kind of future joint projects that can benefit not only one country, but all countries in Southeast Asia. And we are also talking about something outside the environmental issues. We last time we had an event that talked about the sustainable tourism with speakers from Cambodia, from Vietnam and Indonesia. And through this program this afternoon, we would love the three of you to kind of, connect. So this is, one of the visions that we have, to connect the three of you so that, I don't know, like probably, I believe, Mali, you have been to Indonesia, you've been to Timor Leste, but, to meet with Lita and Dersia to, beautiful and smart young ladies in the region to collaborate in the future in your marine and plastic projects will be a very, very wonderful venture that you can probably tap into in the next near foreseeable future. So we have a question from one of the viewers for the three of you. So I would like to get your opinions. So since we are celebrating the Earth Day, she's asking, what do you think about the pageant show of Miss Earth? Do you think it could contribute to the Earth Day awareness and the sustainability in the planet, or the education for sustainable development, or things like that? Feel free, who would like to answer first? Probably Lita, you would love to answer this question. Like Miss Earth in advocating, education for sustainable development, or the awareness of the importance to safeguarding the earth.
Okay, thank you, Reza, and also thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. So that's really a wonderful question because I'm also a pageant alumni. So
Interesting.
before when I was students at university, I'm joining one of the pageants competitions. It's about environmentals. The name is Hello Green Community. So it's like competition from one of the brand and one of the company in Indonesia. So before that, that's around 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 2013. So when I was so young. And then the reason why I joined in that competition, because I want to break the rules, because that's pageant not only beauty, but they also show behavior, and they also care about the environments. So actually I used that pageant opportunity to speak, to perform that people people who wear at about the environment, they also should have opportunity to talk to other people, to inspire other people. So that's my missions that time. And then time by times, and then I learned a lot. And yeah, for me, that's a stepping stone for me. And then what I understand about Miss Earth and then others pageants, the important is about consistency. So if you are consistent and if you have mission to protect the earth, even you are not Miss Earth or others pageants, it's okay. But if you have opportunity, you have based on their requirement, use it, and this also your campaign. So from that, because I have many media coverages during that time, and then I use that power, and then until now, actually, for my sustainability experience, this my power, and this only not only I want to get some of the prestige or award, because this is truly my intention to protect the earth. So yeah, so this is my question, my answer. I hope can answer your questions.
That's very interesting. Getting that from the person who experienced, who were into that pageant show, when you're younger, of course, definitely it's really interesting point of view, and perspective, because you experienced that yourself. Now I would like to get the opinion and view from Dersia. Dersia, are you still here?
Yes, hello.
Yeah. What would you say about the pageant show? And do you think, the people who are joining this show, they will have, this kind of platform or influence to sort of build awareness and to educate the people about education for sustainable development?
Definitely, and this is definitely, as I mentioned early in my presentation, these people, they have powers. I mean, they are the influencers. They have many followers, and they have many people that look up to them.
Yeah.
And that's the power that they have. So they can use that power, the platform that you have, to advocate for change. And of course, the education can come from different stages. can come from different platforms. So I think it's really important that to use those people to advocate for change, and then of course to influence people, raise awareness about the sustainable environment in general.
Thank you so much. That's a very beautiful thoughts. There must be a lot of I was quite intrigued by one of your points in your presentation about involving or engaging young people or individuals with influence in your country to sort of advocate and promote these kind of issues in your country, in Timor Leste. I think we can have a separate session later on when you have more time in the future. But now let's hear from Mali. What do you think about that, kind of pageant show? Do you think those people who are, joining this show and competition will have that kind of power to change the communities around them?
I could not say from my first-hand experience. I never entered into beauty pageant competitions myself, even though I wish. But it just so I shared a screen of what Slow Flowers movement trying to do. Did you see how they did it with Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
And they just did it themselves. It's how all this celebrity can set a trend to the world. You would be amazed if they do it right. I mean, all the medias and stuff right now, it set the intentions of the younger generations on who's dating who and where they going, what they eating, what they're wearing. It's just useless. I think if you have someone who have influential power in your community, and if she or he do it from the heart, I always think it's just a ways to go to set a trend of attention in your community or in your province, in your county, in your country. It's always powerful. It's just that right now is the attention market, who's get the most attention, get the money or whatever, I don't know. It just the right trend.
Yeah.
And useful one to get the attention from the public or from younger generations to make a change.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would they be interested in what are they wearing or which restaurant they're going? It's just useless. I'm sure for if you have a pigeon, what do you call it? Beauty pigeon?
Beauty pageant, yeah.
Who does it already, as an example. It's always powerful.
Interesting. Yeah, and thank you for sharing this picture and quote, from one of the most powerful women. And
imagine if she advocated about the environment.
Yeah.
How much impact she could make, not the money, but the impacts on the environment or
Exactly. Yeah. And it was great also to have her in the region a while back, performing in Singapore, and then she was also traveling in Cambodia to sort of promote the Angkor Wat of a while back, right? So it's kind of interesting, to see her views on all of these tangled up issues in our region. So again, before we move on to Lita, I would like to let you know that Seasia also has this student diplomat program, and we are inviting and encouraging Indonesian students, high school and university students, to join this program. And then we'll be going to different Southeast Asia countries. And our first batch will be going to Cambodia at the end of June, and we'll be talking on different topics. So in June in Cambodia. In the next 2 months, we'll be talking about sustainable tourism, and their Indonesian students will learn more about how Cambodia learned and developed their sort of tourism industry, and then how Indonesia and Cambodia actually develop the country to country or joint partnership in boosting and improving, developing the tourism industry in the region. So and at the end of this show, we'll send you certificates of appreciation. But before, we'll have to let both Dersia and Mali go. Again, let's have a group photo. And then if you in the future would like to have a partnership with us, to use our platform to sort of promote and advocate one of your programs in your NGO, in your office, we'll be very happy to facilitate you with our platforms. And good news from Indonesia alone has 1 million followers throughout the country and beyond. So it will be a very good platform for you to sort of promote, especially for Mali, your projects with Uniqlo that involves some young people in Indonesia. All right, let's take a group photo, and then we'll have special session with Lita after this. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, one more, one last. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Again, Dircia, thank you so much. Mali, thank you so much for your time joining us this afternoon. And we'll be very happy to collaborate with you in any future projects or events. And don't hesitate to contact us if you have anything that we can be help of. All right.
Yeah, likewise, a pleasure. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mali. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much.
Bye-bye. All right. Now, Alita, you have your sort of, Nurlita show, so I'll be with you now. Just the two of us, so we'll have another half an hour. So if you like to share screen and then, tell the viewers about your projects, about your success stories in probably handling the any climate issues, environmental issues in Indonesia. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Reza, and also thank you, the previous speaker before. It's super wonderful. So I learned a lot from Timor Leste and also from Thailand. So yeah, good afternoon, everyone. And right now I almost started night, so I maybe good evening also from others
I
area.
forgot. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
because you are in Central Indonesian time, right? At the
yeah,
moment.
right. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in
Oh
Lombok,
my God.
Central Indonesian time. It's okay. So
And
maybe
and
like the
Dircia
light
is
is
in the
different before. Yeah.
yeah, and Dircia is in the Eastern Indonesian time, right? Because you're 1 hour
Mm.
behind. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. All right. Perfect. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you for the minutes, but I will make it quick so we can have more questions. So okay, so let me share my screen. So for today, I will share a little bit about of course, for Earth Day celebration, and also I will share our experience for saving the planet from the plastic, and also some of my experience focusing for the environmental issues. Okay, so you can see my slides. So yeah, so this little bit about me. So I have around 10 years experience for waste management and also ocean conservations. When I saw the presentation before, like, oh, I remember when I was students because I'm study about fisheries and marine science. And then I also a scuba diver. I dive a lot across Indonesia from Aceh to Papua. And then beside, I have my own NGO. The name is Wasapalam Lestari. I also work as professional at Community Manager Ocean Cycle. This is plastic recycling certification company based in the US. And beside that also, I'm practitioner lecturer with Ministry of Education. So I did some of the students in Makassar for maritime sociology. And then I also teach about the maritime tourism and then for ecotourism because I have my own startup. The name is PT Art Nusa Deladah Dunia. It's about ecotourism startup and also regenerative. So we are focused not about the mass tourism, but we focus for conservation tourism. And besides that, also last year I worked at United Nations as COP for Smart City Consultant Program in Indonesia and others area at Chiang Mai and also Sihanoukville. And last 2020, I got Young Champion of the Earth Prize from UNIP, United Nations Environmental Programs. And yeah, I start my journey like when I was pageant, and then I learned about the environment, and I feel that it's not only competition, but I should do something with my with the earth and with my skill and with this opportunity that I got. So
Would
this little bit
Would you
about
tell
me.
us what's the name of the pageant show at the time that you joined in?
Yeah,
What's
the name is Hello Green Ambassador. Hello Green, yeah.
and how old were
Hello.
you when you joined that
When I
program
was 20, I guess. Yeah, when I was
in the
20.
university, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, first grade. When I
Yeah.
was first grade.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of
So
opened up the door for you to love more
yeah.
environment.
Yeah, because last 10 years,
Yeah.
I feel like not more used to care about the environments.
Yeah.
And because I'm still youth at that time, even now I'm still under 35. But yeah, so I want to inspire other youth also to do and to protect the environment. So yeah, this little bit about me. So what we will share today is around 5 things that I hope you can get this for my session, also for my other previous speakers. So how we build a constructive dialogue about the regions, especially for the environment, and also how we can reduce the use of plastic in our daily consumptions. Besides also, we can use the plastic in our consumption, but it's not compulsory, so we can reduce it as much as we can. And then we also can educate the publics based on our movement or maybe based on our work, based on our expertise. And then if we have power, maybe we can foster the regional opportunities with partnership with others organizations. So before we start, I will share one video around 1 minute.
Please.
It's about the plastic. Before, long years ago, plastic is like fantastic. But time by time, years by years, there was no happily ever after anymore
Of
because
course, yeah.
the way we consume the plastic.
Mhm.
So let me click this video is from UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program.
Yeah.
So a long time ago, they used plastic. It's like innovations from the
Right.
hospital to protect something. But yeah, what I said before, years by years, they only use one time and then they throw it. So let's see the video, and then we can discuss more after this.
Sure, yeah.
Once upon a time, plastic was fantastic.
By a miracle of modern science,
A brand new world.
You won't believe this.
The possibilities of plastics are endless.
Radio and the telephone depend on plastics.
Handbags, shopping bags,
shiny plastic shoes, nylons are plastic too.
Say, this isn't like the stuff my wife uses. It's clear.
wherever you look, there is another use for plastic.
But something was wrong with this fairy tale.
Modern plastics remain in their original state almost indefinitely.
Ever and ever and ever.
There was no happily ever after.
Buy it, use it, throw the rest away.
There was only ever after.
Grandchildren will not see the end of it.
The problem is, we're now addicted to plastic.
Mass production, plastic on an industrial scale.
We've now produced enough of the stuff to wrap the world thousands of times over.
They look good.
So it's time to write a new story.
Try something new.
We must eliminate unnecessary plastics and redesign products to reuse, repair, and repurpose. We must break the habit today if we want a future free of plastic pollution. Now, wouldn't that be fantastic?
Okay, so this is one of campaign from United Nations and from the programs. So I hope my voice is clear because here is Adhan already. So yeah, so I will share about it's what happening about the plastic value chain. So the plastic value chain mostly it for the consumer use and then for our behaviors. And then should be the process should be if we already use that plastic should be collect, not just throw at the bins. Should be collect and then put at our recycling or repurposing facility. And then for the disposal is the very last steps. But what happened now? We saw like mostly end up to the landfill and the ocean. When I was dive in part of the area in Indonesia, I saw many plastic bottles and everything. There's also the reason that we should care about the plastic pollutions. And what I got the source that actually the plastic, the percentage only 21%. Others left is organic, is around 44%. And then others like diapers 21%. And actually, it's hard to processing also because it's part of residual waste. And then others like glass, metal, glass bottles, plastic bottles. And mostly the plastic they use for packaging. And then others, they use plastic for electrical construction industry. But almost 50% become for the packaging. And others interesting in Indonesia that mostly that plastic already recycling only 1% and then not when it's 20% and then goes to the landfill 66%. And then that can be processed at waste bank around 3% and compost around 70%. So yeah, it's really when I saw that data, like wow, this super interesting and like many homework. And in Indonesia, we have some of the regulations from national policy and strategy on solid waste reduction. We call it Jakstranas 2017. So next year, they have target how they can manage 30% of reductions by that some of the indicators like decreasing waste generation per capita and then reducing waste at the source and then reducing waste leakage into the environments. And then others next years should be handling 70%. I don't have idea it will happen or not. At least they have target. And then when we are as social entrepreneurs, when we were at the people who focus for the environmental business, at least we can support.
Yeah.
So there's also, Riza?
It was really interesting that you, in your previous slide, you talked about the marine plastic, which was in line with Mali's project about safeguarding the marine parks and mangroves areas in the three countries, in Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. Probably, I think I was just thinking if you could, reach out to her. I can,
course.
yeah, and then like present these slides deck and then talk about any possible future projects with her with UNESCO Bangkok. I think it at some point it will go a long way with the marine plastic issues. So go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, and when I saw her presentation, like I feel okay, I should collaborate with her because our
Exactly.
vision and mission is same.
Yeah.
So yeah, should be. So that's what's happening in our recycling facility in Bali. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
mostly what the people did. When I read some articles why they did like this when they throw directly to the landfill, because the habit So there's also the problems in not only Indonesia, but mostly in Southeast Asian countries. They
Yeah.
just throw it, but they don't know where it will be end up. So that's what happening here that I manage the facility. And what step we can do, especially as youth, especially as the people who live in Southeast Asia, or everyone here. The first is because I'm women, I'm not use any more sanitary napkin. Last time when I dive, I think around in Lembata Island, I saw that and I'm so shy as a woman. And
Yeah.
then what others we can do is about waste segregation at home,
Yeah.
because many type of waste that can be recycled, like organic can be compost, and then others plastic can still recycling. And then you can start to bring your own containers, no more straw, and it's possible you use public transport, and then think before you make a waste that others speakers also share about, because most of people think about reduction is the last, but the important is reduction is the beginning. And then when you have power, or maybe you have other thing to do, maybe you can make your own NGO or other business for sustainability concept, because this is really important to many people who work. Since 2019, I start to make the NGO. The name is Waste Hub. It's about circular economy innovation that we are focused for urban and tourism area. We base in Jakarta and Bali. In others island also. One of the program is about ocean ability. We are focused for a community-based program in island area, because Indonesia we have 17,000 island, and
Yeah.
mostly the problem about waste, pollution. So we also provide the curriculum, and then beside that also we provide sustainability board game, how they care about the environment by playing board game. And then also we have climate change adaptation approaches and how they can maintain and make their circular economy to sell the green product. Beside that also we have waste management event service. We are focused in Jakarta area because Jakarta many event and we saw this potential to handle the waste. And then others we have waste pickers empowerment. So we help the waste pickers in Jakarta to elevate their economy. And then 2021, we have a Green Job Network platform. So every day we share our opportunity about the green job because it's really important. And right now we have around 1,000 members at the community, WhatsApp community. So this so far since 2019. So we involve around 138 away speakers. And then when COVID happened, we distribute donation to 1,222. And then we also educate participants who went to the exhibitions around 54,000. And then the volunteers that we engage around 835. And then the grid job member right now is around 1,024. And the trash or the waste that we already manage around 10 tons. And we also plant the trees and mangrove, 120. And then we raised also fundraising around $170,000. And we did around 60 project handled. So for us, impact measurement is really important. So every activity that we have, we also always input all the data. So this data is real. So yeah, and then the project that we have Sukla in Bali and still running right now. And then also Sahabat Alam board game. So this our existing project in Bali, because we are foundation, we are focused for education to household and stores. And then we partners with two other startup. The name is Fabrics and Bali Waste Cycle. They are processed into high value waste to the off-takers, and then low value plastic they make into SRF. A green product, and then for waste hub we also help it to make a compost and then send to all off-takers. So no more waste at the landfill. And this so far our journey 2019 until 2023. And then this so far our achievement since 2019. I will share the presentation if you need it. And
Yeah.
then yes, this also we use our pentahelix strategy. So our
Yeah.
partner so far is around 68 partners. 2020 50%, from media, and then governance 16%, and then private sector around 27.9%, and then university and school around 11%, and then for the NGOs around 22%. And what I saw that is really fit with our vision and mission. With a second, I'm still started dark. Let me use a light here. So yeah, our main program right now is oceanability, because mostly this the problems in our country. Also, we help last couple days we also as a contribution for Ocean Decade 2024. So 2021, we have waste management curriculum at Labuan Bajo. And then we also did regularly underwater and beach cleanup together with other scuba divers. And then also, yeah, mostly we did beach cleanup underwater, and also we did auditing all the brand who already collect by us. And then by this year, we have 1 year project with the Arika vessel. We try to clean the sea in Bali with the vessel from them. So right now we are in the fundraising phase. So maybe somebody here who want partnering with us, we are very open to solve this problem together, especially for the ocean waste. And then this also our theory of change. We are the goal is like reduce ocean Banoa. And then the objective, because we are foundation, we try to educate and raise awareness. We also have the fundraising strategy, and then some of the activities like regularly underwater and beach up cleaning, and then also did waste audit, and then also community empowerment. So
Molly,
this little bit about our journey.
You should
So I'm
definitely
happy.
work together with Mali in UNESCO Bangkok. I mean, like it's beautiful to see what you're doing, for our ocean and marine biodiversity in Indonesia. I think it deserves more recognition than what you have done so far. So I think the collaboration with Mali in UNESCO Bangkok will be a sort of door opening project for you in the future. So yeah, just reach out to me after this discussion, and then I can provide you with the personal contact that you can go ahead by yourself, and then or you can feel free to CC us, and so we know what's happening, and then if we can be of help and we can provide any platforms to promote and advocate your beautiful projects to safeguard and conserve our marine ecosystem and biodiversity, it will be our pleasure, of course. All right, so I was just having this one intriguing question when you were talking about when you were showing the video. I think it's true that I think people are now, or the global communities are now transitioning from the conventional plastic materials to probably more eco-friendly materials like probably paper, or I don't know, wooden materials and things like that. But in the past, when they invented plastic in the first place, they didn't think that far about the consequences, the environmental consequences of using a lot of plastics for the environment. So do you think like the global communities, or us as the global citizens, are actually transitioning from the use of plastic to a more conventional, or to more renewable materials like paper? Because nowadays, if you're in Jakarta, less and less shops are giving you plastic shopping bags. Now they have like beautiful paper bags, and also the straws from the local coffee shops or restaurants. They mostly have paper straws instead of the plastic straws. So do you think we are transitioning from this kind of conventional material to more eco-friendly material, just like we're transitioning from the coal and the oil energy to the more renewable eco-friendly energy? What do you think?
Yeah, what I thought about the paper innovation, right? This kind of complicated because when we want to make a one of piece of paper should be need 1,000 liter of water. So so this is kind because like when why people choose plastic because everything is cheap for the productions. But if we want to produce by paper should be make
Yeah.
1,000 gallons of water to produce into paper, and then 1,000 trees to be cut. So
Right.
it's complicated because when we have maybe one solution, but actually not only one solution. So when we try to have innovation, we should at least we think about three pillars. How about the environmental impact next? How about the social impact for the people who live there? And
Yeah.
then what about the economic impact? Can we increase their economy? Because mostly people only think, yeah, we cut all the trees because we want to increase their economy. So what happened about the environment and the community there? And this happened anywhere, like when the people want to build other house or other building, they
Yeah.
cut 1,000 trees. So yeah, for me, this innovation like complicated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's for me it's better use no more straw because our grandfather, grandmother, they don't know, they don't understand what is straw is.
Yeah.
So like for because I'm Japanese, so I just drink the cup, no more straw, and we
Right.
it's better that we try to ask the people who work at the restaurant not use straw. Even sometimes they put the straw like okay, like this what
Yeah.
I got before when I have lunch, and then I said to them already no straw, and then they put the straw at the glass like okay, what should I do? So yeah, this complicated because the habits, and then yeah, we should much, and then others innovation actually like the straws can make it from seaweed, and then in
Yeah.
Indonesia we have purun,
Yeah.
bamboo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
I've
more
seen them.
sustainable if we compare with paper.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Interesting. So are you saying that people are not ready to transition from plastic to more eco-friendly materials in their day-to-day household equipments and stuff that they're using?
Yeah, because they only look at one side, but it
Mhm.
should be other side. We should looking around 60 degrees.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I mean, like you explained that very eloquently that, again, like simple things should be simple and complicated
Mm.
should be made simpler. But again, when
Mm.
you are, answering that issue, I think the more you know, the more complicated
Mm.
it becomes, right? Because you think about the consequences.
Yeah. Right.
So that's very tricky. All right, so probably this is the last question from the viewer. This is kind of interesting as well, but we hope that you can answer this. Like, according to you, what's the best way to tackle the challenges posed by conventional asphalt rulers? Asphalt to make roads. And
Yeah.
because if we switch to plastic asphalt, like, probably we've seen that, videos online, people in, different parts of the globe, they are producing plastic asphalt instead of the asphalt for the roads. So conventional business people will be sort of outraged and disturbed by this kind of invention. And meanwhile, plastic asphalt is really good. It's really good because it can last longer. So what do you think on this take? Because I think personally, both asphalt and plastic, they create different kinds of pollution in that sense.
Yeah. So what I understand, so every innovation is good. And
Yeah.
then after that, we should thinking about the impact because when some of my friends they share about the innovation, and then I ask them, did you already research at the lab? How about the quality? How about the ash that produce? Is there any carbon emissions that you made from that? Is there any bottom ash that is produced? So I always ask the follow-up questions. So if there are any others innovation, I ask, how about this? How about this? But if they cannot answer, means
Yeah.
that still questioning. So better not. So but some of the people use these innovations because maybe from government support, or maybe the government not understanding about it, or maybe other sector not understand. And us as because I
Yeah.
also work as an environmental consultant, we should
Yeah.
put everything based on research, and then based on data, and also based on the location or occasional or at the field. So yeah, it should be holistic that I share to you. This innovation is good, but should be other questions follow up, like how about the impact, how about the condition for the soil, how about the condition if they have flood, so can the water can absorb the asphalt from the plastic,
Yeah.
how the impact if the heat will be impact for when we breathe, how about
Yeah.
the air quality. Yes, that's many questions.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you completely. Yeah, definitely. Like there's so many like I would say it's the potential problem analysis. Like what if, if you're creating this, there'll be another problem after that. And then if there's a problem, will there be another problem, beyond that problem? So yeah, that's quite tricky because us as human beings can only sort of provide like temporarily fix like we are trying to create permanent fix, but of course there is no such thing as permanent fix, so
Yeah.
we only have this temporary fix, and then when the temporary fix has consequences, then we'll have another temporary fix. So that's how it keeps going, and in like vicious cycle, I would say, of environmental issues, and we should of course think about it as the future generation of this planet. All right, Litha, I think let's have a look if we still have one last question, but I think that was the last question from the viewers. It was really beautiful to have you and then the other two speakers from Thailand and Timor Leste to join our Earth Day celebration viewpoint panel discussion by Seasia Academy, part of Seasia, a group of Good News from Indonesia. And we would be very happy to have you again with us in the near future. Just let us know if you would like to sort of, advocate your special project, and then we'll provide you with this kind of, like 101 special session of panel discussion, or, talk show or things like that. All right. So without further ado, again, thank you so much, Asians, wherever you are, Indonesia, Timor-Leste, Thailand, or other countries in Southeast Asia, and even beyond Southeast Asia. Thank you so much for joining us this evening from wherever you are, and we hope to see you again next month in different panel discussion. I'm Mohammed Reza, the program coordinator of Seasia Academy. I thank you for your active participation, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.